Hey, what's up, you guys? Let's get straight into it. My name is Kendall Hart, and today we're going to be installing the Vpart U-Part Wig, whatever you want to call it. This hair is from ISeeHair. It's part of their Princess collection, and it's a 24-inch Mongolian Kinky Curly U-Part Wig. Shout out to them for sending me free hair, but I actually love their company. I buy from them all the time, so this is still going to be a really good, honest review. So here we go. So this is what the hair looks like straight out of the package. As you can see, it's not a lot of volume. I'm just going to briefly go over the components. So I'm doing a middle part, and it has two combs on each side of the part, which is really secure because I've seen some that only have one. And then it has a comb in the middle of the net, and then one on either side, like for your sideburns, and a comb in the back. So immediately out of the pack, the curls are giving nothing, very flat, but we're going to fix that very soon. It also comes with a free bonnet. It's the same bonnet I'm wearing right now, and it's a really good bonnet. It has a drawstring, and it comes with an edge brush, a band, which is kind of weird because it's not a frontal, but I guess that comes with every wig that they send you, and some nails, which are really, really cute. They also include this drawstring bag, which I would recommend keeping up with because I take my U-Part wigs off every night, so it's easy to just put in the bag, keep it from getting tangled or messy or anything like that, and it's silk, so it's good for the hair. And lastly, second to lastly, they give you lashes. There's 8 pairs in here. They're really natural, really cute, and I feel like that's a lot to come with that package. Like, that's a good little ordeal. And then lastly is just a wig cap, which I don't need it now, but I will later, I promise you. So I went ahead and slicked my hair off camera, just using regular Eco Styler gel and brush. My hair is really fine and thin and not thick at all, so it's not that hard for me to slick it back. And since it is curly hair, I can get away with not doing braids and doing a bun in the back because at the end the hair is so voluminous and full that you can't tell I have a bun in my back of my head. Now for my thick hair girlies, y'all should probably do a little braid or two, but for me, I'm fine. So when it comes to making the actual U, I'm going to use my inner brows as a guide. So the corner of my inner brow from my left, and then the corner of my inner brow from the right, and just go all the way up, making a part. I'm going to kind of estimate exactly where I stop it at, I guess, just because it doesn't really matter. It's a U-Part wig, so if I do too much hair, I can always just brush it back into my braid. If you had braids, you should probably care a little bit more. And I'm just going to secure with the bobby pin and, ooh girl, and then just take the rest out. And since I have it secure with the bobby pin, I know exactly what to not put in the bun. And I'm just going to put the bun back in my head after I take my hair out. So it should obviously emulate like a rectangle, a U shape. And it's curly hair, so it's not going to matter that much. You're not going to be able to see the parts that I just made. The only part that really needs to be straight is the part down the middle that I'm about to do. So now I'm about to part my hair and start putting my Flexi Rods in. But before that, I literally only put water. So this is the As I Am Jamaican Castor Oil Spray Water. And I just use that like whenever I'm spraying water in my hair, just because Jamaican castor oil helps your hair grow. I'm going to brush it out and put Eco Styling Gel on it. Literally, that's all I do is water and Eco Styling Gel. Sometimes I put mousse, but this is it. Like, it doesn't take much at all. The main part is literally just making sure that your hair is tangle free and that it is wet enough and it has enough product. So I put about 2 fingers full of Eco Styler. Now I'm going to take my Flexi Rod. Oh my gosh, I'm looking a little scary. But I'm going to take my Flexi Rod set. And I always get mint green. I've never seen this size in a different color, but I don't know. I will put the link in the description box just in case. But this is the size I always use. I get 2 packs. These packs came with 7 in them, so I have 14 total. And I'll usually use like 4 on each side. Now I'm gonna part my hair. I used the end of the edge brush that came in the pack, and this is the part that I said needed to be straight. The other parts don't matter, but this one does because it's the only visible part. And after I part my hair, I'm going to begin going in with my Flexi Rods. So I always start from the front and work my way back. And I do want the sections to be small but not tiny. So I'd say about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch part. And then I'm going to begin to spiral. So I want to go underneath first. On top first instead of underneath. So that first curl is going to go on top of the Flexi Rod. And then I'm going to kind of do this spiral, not too tight together. So maybe like 3/4 of an inch space in between each curl, if that makes sense. Because if you do it too tight, it's not going to match the curl pattern of the wig and whatnot. So I'm going to fold both the ends just to keep it secure. And I'm going to move on to the next curl on this side. Same method, make sure that the root part is tight and secure with your Flexi Rod. You can either bend it over or bend it behind. And yeah, I'm just kind of doing the same thing throughout my head. Like I said, I usually do 4 or 5 each side. And I'm just going to proceed to doing this until I finish both sides. So now I am just going to go through and bend them all just to get them out of my face and just to be able to put them in a bonnet. If normally I would just put them in my bonnet and go to sleep, but for the sake of this video I actually am going to blow dry them instead of letting them air dry, but normally they will dry overnight, so just keep that in mind. So like I said, I'm going to use a blow dryer and I'm just going to switch back and forth between hot and cold and for about 10 minutes until they're all the way dry. I do have hair that dries really fast, so it doesn't take me long at all. And like I said, I normally will keep these in overnight, and when I take them out in the morning they are always 100% dry. So next I'm going to actually style the U-Part wig itself, and I'm going to put it on my head just to make it a little bit easier. There are 2 options. You can do it like how I'm about to do it and put it on your head and style it, or you can just style it with a wig head or just holding it and brushing through and styling and adding products with it off of your head. So I'm going to section it. I'm going to do the front sections first and just spraying it with my water bottle or my water, whatever you call this, spray bottle. And I'm going to spray, not getting too close to the roots yet because I don't want to get my leave out wet. And I'm just going to make sure it's damp enough to where I can go ahead and brush through. And I'm going to start brushing from the ends up to the roots just like you would with your natural curly hair. I'm going to add mousse and eco styler. I will do the mousse first, and this mousse is just from MIELLE. I will add this into the description box as well. And once I put the mousse in, I'm going to comb through it again or brush through it again with my brush. And I forgot to mention, this is just a DENMAN brush, I believe, and I'll put the link to that in my description as well. You can use any brush since it's not your natural hair. It doesn't really matter as much. They have like pretty much any type of brush with wires and, you know, like the typical wig brush style from Walmart. I used to use a really cheap one from Walmart before I got this, so anything will do. After that, I am going to add my Eco Styler gel again and just making sure that it's evenly coated. I'll rub it into my hands and then rub it into my hair. So you don't want to put too much, but you just want to make sure that it's pretty even and spread throughout, because if you put too much it's going to be crunchy. So just try to put a good amount in each section. And then I'm going to separate that and do the same thing for each section of my hair. Just spraying water, brushing it, adding mousse, brushing it again, and then adding the Eco Styler gel. Once I've done my entire head, just brushing through it, make sure that's pretty damp and defined, I'm going to turn on my blow dryer at high heat, and I'm going to start going from the bottom up like so, just trying to diffuse the hair. You can also let this air dry, but like I said, for the sake of the video, I'm going to do my hair as if I'm going somewhere, so it needs to be completely dry. And then I'm going to kind of slightly press into my hair as well. Once my hair is about 80% dry on one side that I'm working on, I'm going to take my blow dryer and start kind of pressing into my hair more. Like I said, instead of going upwards from the bottom, I'm going to press into it. Just kind of adding a little more volume and diffusing it more. Just making sure all sections of my hair are dry. And I'm going to go up from the bottom and press into my hair until it is 100% dry. So my hair is dry. You could just see how much volume it is just from that. And this is only day one hair. We're not even done creating volume. So that's just from diffusing it. And I'm going to try to dry the roots after the rest of the hair is dry. So I'm just going to kind of hold the diffuser at the roots for about 2 minutes just to make sure that it's dry and it's not getting the hair and the flexi rods wet. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other side. So the last step before I take out the flexi rods is just to make the shape even, and I'm going to want it to go like that and just kind of emulate, you know, like a natural curly cut. So I'm going to just start cutting upwards and just making sure that it looks even on both sides and that it's a nice cute shape to it. And like I said, I did cut it using a video before, and I'm gonna link that in the description box, but I basically just cut off the ends when I first opened it. So now I'm kind of just shaping it. I'm not a hairstylist by any means, so this is probably not any type of good technique, but it works for me. So this is kind of what I do, just cutting upwards at a diagonal. So now is where we add volume, and literally all I do is pick up the top layer because you don't want to get the top layer any type of frizz. You want it to be really defined, and I'm just going to take my brush and brush, but don't brush all the way through to the end, so just at the root, creating volume. And I'm literally just going to do that all over my head until I feel like it's voluminous enough for me. And now I am going to proceed to clamp it down, and the main important thing for this is just to get it as close to that original part that you made as possible, because this is going to help it blend more. And just making sure that it's as secure as you need it to be. If you need to add bobby pins, you can. I do that sometimes, but as long as it's secure. This one was pretty secure without adding them. So let's start taking the flexi rods out. So now we're going to begin taking the flexi rods out. There's no specific technique. Literally just unravel them. And here's the curl it should make. Very spirally and perfect. And just do the same thing all over your head, just taking them out. And being careful not to cause too much frizz when you initially take them out. If you want to put a little bit, and I mean a little bit of oil on your hands when you take them out, you can. So the way that I blend from here is I will take one curl starting from the top again, and I will either split it or just go ahead and use that piece and kind of just intertwine it with a piece of hair from the unit. And this just kind of creates more of an illusion that it's blended, and make sure that it's not super tight to where it looks like a big twist in the front of your head. Make sure that it blends, you know, just kind of use your eye and your judgment, and just make sure that you're pulling the piece of hair directly underneath the leave out. And just keep using that same method for your entire leave out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the finished look. Add more product at your discretion, whatever you want. I think that the top part would have blended even better if I had let it sit overnight and really dry fully, because there is some frizz, but it still looks good, still blended seamlessly. And yeah, that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching. Everything y'all need will be in the description box, link to the hair. I also have a discount code, so if you want to get some money off and you buy this unit or any hair on ISeeHair, make sure that you check the description box for my code. So yeah, that's it. Bye.